Hello, today we have with us Mr. Samer Al-Omari. Mr. Samer, hello.
Hello, Shuruk. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's a pleasure to be with you.
So glad to have you. Mr. Samer is one of our alumni doing double master's MBA International Business along with an MA in Entrepreneurship in British Imperial University College, awarded by Euclea Business School. Mr. Samer, we're very glad to have you today. We would like you to walk us through your journey and starting by introducing yourself.
Pleasure. Thank you, Shuruk. My name is Samer Al-Omari. I am a 62-year-old student. I like to say that all the time because I'm probably the oldest student that Euclea University will ever have or ever
You are.
have. I hope we can get some more in the future. But for the time being, I have to say that it was a true pleasure to be part of the Euclea Business School program. And it was a fantastic journey for me to be part of it. It was started actually as a challenge to my own son, my youngest son, who actually wanted to do an MBA program. And it was a good opportunity to be together in a sense. I always wanted to do an MBA program, but having been involved in the industry for 37 years, sometimes time passes by so quickly that you don't realize that you have time to always say next year. But this was a perfect opportunity to start the program. And I have to say it was a life-changing opportunity and a life-changing experience. So it was fantastic.
That's cool. I think we need to thank your son for this. He has a big
Absolutely.
contribution.
Absolutely. No, I think the management also was quite pleased to see son and father joining together in the program.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Samer, your career journey began back in 1987 as a sales manager and technical advisor. And since then, you've taken a range of impressive roles from senior commercial advisor, regional business development director. Can you walk us through how your career evolved over the years and maybe highlight some of the key milestones that really shaped your career?
No, for me, I find life is, I see it in different, let's say, lenses in a sense. Throughout my whole career, I've always had a deep desire to learn and learn more. You have these quality of people that always become like a sponge, want to always absorb all the information that they can get from the jobs, from the careers, from the people, from whoever they can interact with. I found that actually intrinsic desire throughout from the beginning of my career. So when I started my early days as sales manager in Kuwait, I was actually an engineer. I studied civil engineering. I was working on site. And one of the people saw me one time getting my paycheck. At that time, it was paid in cash in front of the cashier. Was saying to me, "Do you speak English?" And I said, "Yes, I'm a fresh graduate from the States, and I'm working on sites." He asked me to take the opportunity to become a sales manager to sell some construction material, civil engineering material that you need for the construction. Being the person I am, that's always going to take a challenge, take on a challenge. I said, perfect, why not? We will do that. And unfortunately, within the first 3 years of my working for them, we increased our let's call it agency representation. We became agents from suppliers from the US, from Europe, from Japan, from Asia, from different places for all different materials, excuse me, and different technologies. We became let's call it representative for over 1,000 brands with my help. And that actually gave me a tremendous amount of push and success to show that youth who desire to learn more and willing to take a challenge and willing to actually utilize the skills that they get from education can definitely boost their career very fast. And that's how the whole thing started. So I started as a sales manager there, and how I became a let's call it a Shell employee is because I became a representative of a company that Shell bought. So we became a Shell agent. And when the management of Shell came and met me as their agent in Kuwait at the time for this construction company I was working for, a Hamra company, they asked me to join them instead of they're saying, why should you work for our agent? Come and work for the mother company. And I said, perfect. That was the opportunity to come to Dubai. And that's how the whole thing started for me, is to join Shell as a young 27-year-old graduate, working for a multinational company, a global company like Shell. That was a fantastic start in my career.
What a journey, Mr. Samer. Um, so as I can see, your career has spanned a diverse range of industries, like from oil and gas to real estate and consulting. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced when making these transitions? Because we know it's not easy to transition between industries. And how did you adapt to the different environments and expectations along the way?
That's a very good question, to be honest with you. And then this is also part of the character that I have, is that I like and love to take challenges. I always tell my kids and my friends that I meet, do not get comfortable with what they call a comfort zone. Always accept challenges. Always challenge yourself. Always try to seek for more. So for me, transitions between industries from oil and gas, real estate to consulting was challenging, but rewarding at the same time. Each move required me not only to adapt to these different industries, but to also immerse myself completely into this new environment. And in that sense, places like, for example, I worked in Holland. In Holland, they asked me to learn the Dutch language to communicate with my colleagues. That's not a challenge that people actually accept. So it was actually a prerequisite of my job. They said, we will take you into Holland, but you have to promise and accept the challenge to learn and to speak the language within a 6 month period. So things like that, when you face the challenges like this and you accept them, that's the time when you actually can test yourself and can accelerate and in a way advance your career to higher levels.
So you do speak Dutch.
I speak Dutch as well. Yes.
Impressive, impressive.
So that I speak Dutch. My wife is Persian. I speak Persian. I speak Arabic. I speak English. Languages for me is a very useful tool. I find it not only beneficial to understand conversation and to converse with people and to actually get closer to them, but it helps you when it comes to the industry and the business to help you to get closer to your clients. Because I believe that culture can bridge lots of language can bridge lots of cultures. And if you can speak a language with anybody, whether it's Arabic, English, Hindi, Urdu, Dutch, and different languages, I believe that people can get closer faster. And
Yeah.
that understanding, Shuruk, has helped me actually use that as a strategy in my company, my real estate company. When I had a real estate company which started in 2002 and finished in 2012, we had to close it after the crisis for a while, is because the tools of language were actually the cornerstone of my company philosophy, i.e., my agents, I hired 52 agents who can speak 17 different languages. So when a client came to Dubai to buy real estate, if I had a Chinese client, I would not sit with him somebody who speaks English or Arabic. I'll send someone who can speak Chinese to them. A German client, I found a German speaker. A Persian client, a lot of Iranians from Iran came to buy properties. We had multiple female and male agents who can speak to them and give them the comfort. And I found that that language bridged the culture and built the trust very quickly and helped us succeed in that industry in real estate. So to this day, I still consult a lot of people on real estate and give training. I tell owners of companies, bring people who can speak the language and target that country with that language. And some companies who are very successful in Dubai now, I will not mention names because of the place where we're doing this podcast, but some companies will say focus on the Russian market. So they only hire Russian agents. Some people focus on the Italian market, only hire Italian agents. But because of the world is changing all the time, both from a geopolitical scenarios, you find the Dubai market attracting different nationalities. So it's intelligent for companies to hire people who can speak the languages and create that trust, especially that some people can actually buy on the phone. They don't actually come to Dubai. Now that everything can be done electronically, people actually can get the trust and the sufficient knowledge because of the spoken language, literally from the agent on the phone. So that's been a fantastic success in that sense.
Diversity is beautiful and inspirational, but I think people tend to always expect the others to learn. Like, why do I need to learn that language? They should learn my language. They should understand me. But this is a reminder to all of us that it is actually why not we taking that step. And especially in the business world, communication is key and it helps a lot. But at the end of the day, we're all humans and we do relate actually more to people that we have similarities with. So if we have this thing in common that is language, people love it. As you say, they got convinced even in the phone. So that's an amazing thing, actually. So
And
working in
just a
different
comment.
countries.
Yes. Well, if I may add just a comment on that,
Yeah,
Sam,
please.
there's no problem. I mean, in that sense, I mean, definitely language can bridge cultures for sure. But the experiences of having these different challenges, I mean, if you take it from, because not everybody can learn languages easily, you know.
Definitely.
I think you're from Morocco, or where are you from originally?
I'm from Morocco.
Okay. So you can speak maybe French, or you can speak some language. Obviously, English is a very good accent for you, but a lot of people can speak French, but not English. So some people have skill sets that can potentially help them learn languages, but that's not the only thing required. I mean, in essence, the experiences that you gain by working in different cultures, it enforces the importance of things like resilience, humility, emotional intelligence. Those are also factors that you actually can only learn doing taking business or taking an escalate and an escalation in education, like the Euclea Business School program. There you can actually learn these issues of emotional intelligence, resilience, persistence. Those elements can make you much more able to connect with people at a much deeper level. You can foster trust, the language plus emotional intelligence plus understanding cultures. Those things you can learn only when you engage in a much higher education program, like the MBA program or Executive MBA program that we became part of it. And it helps you navigate the conversations with empathy and grace at the same time. Because to have long-lasting businesses, you have to have combination of all that. You know, the issue of empathy, humility, resilience, emotional intelligence, grace and empathy. You cannot be just a show off because you're successful. On the contrary, the more you become more bonded with people, you become friends, and people love to do business with friends. This is something I've experienced in all the businesses I have done. Whether it was a global company like Shell, my clients were my friends. In real estate, my clients are literally family, friends, people that I would do business with. They think of you as a friend that they can trust.
Yes, indeed, Mr. Samer. Me, myself, I worked in Turkey for a while, so I had to learn the language. I loved learning the language, and it definitely brought me closer to the community, made my work easier. But of course, as you said, there is a set of soft skills that the person need to have to be able to succeed in today's evolving business world. So you've worked in different countries like Kuwait, Netherlands, Belgium, and the United Arab Emirates, of course, and that must have given you a unique perspective. And I think that your international exposure influenced your approach to business and leadership. How did it happen? Can you walk us through that?
Absolutely. As I said, I always welcome challenges from the jobs. Luckily, I was working for the right company that gave me those challenges. In a sense, I was being trained and it's called cultured to take higher levels in the company. So what Shell has a program, what they have two programs actually. One is called the fast track managerial executive program, and the one which is the secondary tier. It's called very fast track and the medium fast track. I was in the medium fast track, not the very fast track, because I was the first Arab or first Arabic speaker from the Middle East to actually migrate towards Europe, where the company is owned. 60% Dutch, 40% English. Normally, they would send expatriates from Holland and England to come to teach us. I was the first one to actually do what we call reverse migration. So working across those diverse markets, whether it was in UK, Netherlands, and Belgium, where I actually did 3 years for each of those roles, and 6 years, sorry, 8 years in Dubai and the Middle East, in a way, has been one of the most enriching aspects of my career. Each region offered me unique challenges and opportunities. My work in North and East Africa, when I was in Belgium, responsible for that region, taught me resilience and adaptability in a fast-changing environment. Africa was just blooming and booming in a sense, while Eastern European countries like the Spanish, which I was responsible for, revealed the importance of understanding the evolving economies and their local dynamics. These experiences showed me the value of cultural intelligence and being able to navigate the businesses, the different businesses in different landscapes, and to build trust in those environments. And I can honestly say this building trust and friendship has been the cornerstone of my success in my career. And luckily, I've been fortunate in the sense that I've had those skills to be able to create good friendships with people. I don't know what it is, but it seems that I make good friends very quickly. And I think Manali would agree with that. Would you agree with that, Manali, or not? I can make good friends in the university. I have lots of friends in the university program. So in essence, that skill and that God-given skill, in a sense, it has been a key portion of my success. But in a way, whether it's working on complex projects in the Middle East or the Gulf, or managing stakeholders in Africa, I learned that success in a global business comes down to empathy and collaboration and a willingness to embrace diversity. These lessons have not only shaped my approach to leadership, but also deepened my appreciation for the richness of human connection. And that's, I think, a very key element in succeeding in life. Is you have to have that human connection, which I'll probably talk about that later on what happened during the program, the exit program we put together with myself.
We do indeed take a lot of pride in us being international, having students from all over the world. Mr. Samer, your education journey has been a fascinating one, starting with civil engineering at Montana State University, and most recently doing your Executive MBA here with us at Ritz Imperial. So after a significant gap in education and already being a senior level in your career, we do understand that this is not a step that everyone would take. What was it that motivated you to pursue this Executive MBA? And how has this upskilling helped you in your career? And what role do you think lifelong learning plays in navigating today's ever-evolving business landscape?
That's a very, very good question, Ashok. To be honest, this was actually part of my speech that I gave during the graduation, which I'll be very happy to share with you.
That was an amazing one, yeah.
Thank you for that. Look, pursuing the executive program was one of my most fulfilling decisions I've done in my life. I've always told my wife when we first got married that I would love to continue my MBA program, but you get married, then you get involved with business, and you travel to different countries, and then you have children. So there was always a reason or an excuse to say, I'll delay, I'll delay, I'll delay. When my youngest son became 24 years old and came to me with a challenge, I would like to go in an MBA. At that time, I had more free time in my hand. I said, okay, let's do it together. This challenge. And I said, if you register, I'll register. Not only that, I'll even pay for your program. So of course, he was very attracted to that possibility. So we registered together. I enrolled to encourage my younger son Rami, who joined the same program. But what unfolded was a transformation journey for my own growth and development and bonding between he and I, and myself and the colleagues that we actually joined together at the same time for the same batch. Studying with my son side by side, competing with grades, attending lectures, and navigating challenges together was a profound bonding experience for me and him. It reminded me that the learning is not just a personal pursuit; it's something that you can bring families and generations together. Don't forget, I'm 62, my son is 24, so we have a huge generation gap. So that can make in some families a big communication gap for generations. But this experience has been tremendous help to actually bond us together even more. Beyond this, the program actually rekindled my love for structured learning. Because my learning has been through practice, through experience, through working in the field. But this structured program, structured learning, actually was brought back the love for it, because I love, as I said to you earlier, what I mentioned in the podcast, my desire for learning and my absorption for knowledge. So that the structured program was very, very useful. It also reminded me that there's no matter how much you have accomplished in your career, there's always more you can learn, always more room to grow. It was humbling experience for me to step back into this academic setting and be enriched with the pursuit of knowledge, which is timeless. And I honestly believe that there is no age that one cannot continue to learn. You can continue to learn at any age. So that was something that was very humbling for me in this experience.
First time, you're truly an example to all of us that it is never too late to start. And of course, especially in today's business landscape that is evolving and changing every day, to be able to keep up to date with what is the market need, along with having this professional exposure, we do actually need to keep upskilling in order to keep up. So, based on your vast experience, what emerging trends in international business or entrepreneurship do you think will shape the future of work? And how can aspiring professionals prepare to stay ahead of these changes?
Look, I mean, I cannot pretend to be the expert on what the emerging trends that can potentially be coming because the world is changing every single day. With the emergence of AI, the emergence of digital technology, things are changing literally day by day, whether it is in the let's call it in finance with cryptocurrencies, whether it's AI with all the tools that they have. Now you can actually, let's call it improve or enhance or let's call it become more productive using these tools. That was not available to me. I'm 60 years old. I use all these tools today and I can see the benefit of them. But I can tell you a lot of younger generations are not using those tools and not understanding the benefit of actually how to what I call it using as an extension of your capabilities to be able to do this. So I think the future of business is being shaped by these digital transformations, by sustainability also. People are more aware, your age, younger generations are more aware of sustainability, the environment, all the problems that we're having around the world, the use of plastics and the use of oil, what we call in my old job, the oil industry, which is causing a lot of also potentially environmental harm. So I think the rapid pace of globalization is also helping to do that. The MBA program, a curriculum that gave me tools to understand these trends and how to impact industries across the globe. Courses in technology and innovation that were part of the program, the banking program, we have highlighted the new businesses and how the new businesses can use and leverage digital tools, while sustainability models emphasize the importance of ethical leadership and social responsibility. The case studies also that were part of the program were actually an eye-opener. Yeah, they brought those kind of concepts to life, how we actually can navigate around these digital challenges and social responsibility at the same time. They offer practical insights into how global companies actually tackle these challenges, like crisis for the environment or crisis management or environment and social governance initiatives and the market disruption. These lessons equip me with tools to anticipate and adapt to the emerging market trends, preparing me to lead in an ever-changing world. So that's how I can see the emerging tools doing that.
So, Mr. Samer, as we can say, the Executive MBA program is a significant milestone in your educational journey. What would you say to current or prospective students about making the most out of the program since it enhanced your perspective as a leader?
Look, I mean, to my fellow graduates who we graduated together, I would say that we have shared a fantastic journey of growth altogether, knowledge, the challenges and triumphs. We succeeded, we had certificates, we celebrated, we had a good time. But we can carry that forward, the lessons that we have learned to increase our, let's say, presence in our workspaces. And most of the people that I joined in the program were actually seeking more knowledge to increase, let's call it their profile within their companies. They want to upgrade their job or roles or potentially shift to a different industry. So they were equipping themselves with different knowledge. I think that's for them fantastic to do. And you should utilize that knowledge that we gained and also to continue the relationship we have built as let's call it a networking set of people, which I know from other friends of mine who joined different MBA programs in the past. They became fantastic friends, and they became also partners in business as well, success. And they've started different startup companies and became very successful after that. For the prospective students that are actually joining the program, I think my advice with them would be embrace this journey as much as you can with an open heart and mind. Push yourself to learn. Don't try to make any shortcuts for the exams or for the learning. Attend lectures because they're really very challenging and very informative, I have to admit. Collaborate with your peers, talk to each other. We've done that in our, let's say, the set of people that the batch we did together. We used to get together on Sundays, for example, and meet in a hotel room somewhere and literally challenge each other for the courses, especially when we did the global program for the MBA that we had from Harvard, which was part of the certification that we obtained. That was very challenging, to bring my experience of real life to students who are still in their 20s, because there was a lot of issues that I knew about, obviously, that young graduating students like my son, like the other children who are under the age 24, 25, haven't met with. things like domestic production, economical impacts, global businesses. That global business certification, let's call it, gives the opportunity to bond more, to challenge each other more, to collaborate together, and to build that joyful trip. And that's what I recommend for those new prospective students: is you find joy in this process. Find joy in meeting other people. This MBA program is not just a stepping stone for their career; it's actually a transformative experience, that it'll shape them for the rest of their life. I think that's basically what I would say to them. It's if they really embrace it that way, the outcome can be very transformative.
Wise words, Mr. Samer. It was my immense pleasure having you today in my Euclea Alumni Spotlight podcast. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us and walking us through your journey.
It's a pleasure, absolutely. Thank you so much. And I really would hope that people listening to this podcast can use those wise words, as you said, as a guide for them to further improve their career and their life, and definitely to enroll in the Euclea Business School program. It's absolutely a wonderful experience. I fully 100% support it and recommend it.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Shuruk was with you. I'll see you next time in a new podcast with a new alumni.
Thank you.